Guys, if you want snowfall in Delhi, please switch on your videos.
And use the filter of snowfall.
Guys, if you want snowfall in Delhi, please switch on your videos.
Use the filter of...
Good one, Azad.
We are live, guys. Should I start the meeting? Asking permission from the president. Should I start the meeting? Thank you. First of all, a very, very happy birthday to Amit sir, formally on behalf of all the members of South Delhi Toastmasters Club. Now, as far as the Toastmasters Club mission is concerned, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. There are some meeting ground rules. In Toastmasters, we do not talk about gender-biased subjects, religion, and politics. Hence, it is advised not to do so in an offensive manner. Please keep your cameras on during the entirety of the meeting unless your internet connection does not permit you to do so. Please keep your audio muted unless you have a speaking role. If you need to move away from your device, please mute your audio and video. Please make sure your call and text notifications are silent, and if you need to take a call, please do so. But after the meeting finishes, or mute your audio and video first. After each speaker finishes their speech, please participate and encourage them by giving one commendation and one recommendation through private chat, and guests can also participate in this. There will be voting after each section, so I encourage everyone to vote. The chat box will be open, but refrain from sending unnecessary messages to avoid disturbing the speaker. No one apart from the timer as the co-host and any role player, including speakers, Toastmaster of the day, general evaluator and table topic master, speech and supplementary evaluators, can share screen. Members without role except supplementary evaluators and guests who wish to participate, and I reiterate this, guests who wish to participate in the table topic session should do so by being visible on video. And with that, I hand over the virtual stage to our very dynamic leader, Toastmaster Arushi Kapoor. With a round of applause, we welcome her on the virtual stage.
Hello, good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters, and I can see some fresh faces, guests. I welcome you all to the 818th meeting of South Delhi Toastmasters. Now, the theme for today is Why Toastmaster, and it is brought to us by our TMOD, Toastmaster Amit, and we will come to him, but I'm not going to talk a lot about Toastmasters because Amit is doing the needful today. And I think Sandra has also got some table topics related to Toastmasters. What I will talk about today is a very important thing, which I think everyone here will relate to, is personal finance. So who amongst you save money or have a portfolio or do any kind of investments? All right. Quite a lot of you, but I did see a few hands which were not raised. So something which I have learned over the past few years, and thanks to a wonderful friend of mine who got me into the world of personal finance and personal independence, I thought this would be the right platform to also educate all the Toastmasters. So while I'm a CPA and I'm great at analyzing financial statements, I was really, really bad with my own personal finances. Any leftover money was spent on vacations, and I didn't budget my expenses, nothing of that sort. So it did land me in a soup. And 3 years ago, I started my investing journey. And thankfully, I have a good amount of portfolio. So first thing is, what I learned is to create as many assets as possible and minimize your liabilities. So when I say create as many assets, it could mean different income streams. It could mean not buying, and minimizing liabilities would mean not buying your car or vacations on an EMI, because you pay extremely high interest rates when you do so. So only and only my suggestion to everyone would be, if you want to take a loan, take it on your education. The interest rates are lower and the ROI on education loan is great and fabulous. So create as many assets, minimize your liabilities. Also, do not always fall back on what your parents or the history has told us about assets. Like at a certain point of time, bonds were very attractive. They used to give 15% interest rate. They don't do so anymore. FDs used to give a lot of good interest rates. They don't do it anymore. Similarly, real estate for our parents happened to be a game changer. Not necessarily it's the same nowadays. If you see the return on real estate for the last few years, it's not more than 7%, which is equivalent to an FD. So inflation is at an all-time high. Inflation is about 6 to 7% every year in India. And if you're literally making 7% on your investments, you're not really earning anything. So if you had 100 rupees and your FD earned you 107 rupees, then inflation ate all that 7 rupees. So you didn't really make any money on your inflation. So make wise investments, learn to make your money grow, and choose wisely, do some research, talk to your friends, talk to experts, and be responsible for your own finances. So this was a little personal experience, which I wanted to share with all of you. We also have somebody who wrote a book on finances here, and I would like to get his opinion about what he thinks about personal finance.
Thank you so much, Arushi. I really appreciate this. So something which is very important, as Arushi has mentioned, just give me 1 second.
Okay, looks like
so sorry, just give me 1 second, okay, Arushi. So Arushi, absolutely, something that I've recently learned is there's something called fixed deposit, okay? As you have rightly mentioned, if you are getting 6% on fixed deposit, it's a loss. There's another option. One of the reasons why we have fixed deposit is because of emergency fund. And one of the best ways is if you can have a liquid fixed deposit. So that will ensure that obviously 90% you can withdraw, and it takes 24 hours. So absolutely correct, Arushi. Money saved is money earned. And yes, please pay special attention to your money.
Right. And I see a member who's come after a long time, and that's Toastmaster Sunil, who happens to be in private equity. So he's also a money man. Any thoughts, sir, on personal finance?
So thanks, Arushi. I didn't know today's topic was about personal finance. I don't come from that field, but yeah, all of us have to manage our own finances. As you rightly mentioned, I think in these days, fixed deposits and other form of secured returns are giving you negligible returns, not countering the inflation. So very limited options. I think the only option is, regardless of what you get, fixed deposit is supposed to be the most secured one. If you tend to widen your horizon to include new avenues, there are mutual funds which do long and short, long-short funds that can still give you beyond 7-8%, but then you need to understand the nuances of what they do in terms of the final investments that they make. And the other form is that if you do derivatives, you could still earn more than 7%, but there is an element of risk. But you've covered all the points in the right way to suggest that returns are not great these days.
Yeah. So the idea is to challenge the status quo and research and be responsible for your finances. That's the bottom line of the discussion today. Now, I would like to introduce the Toastmaster of the day, which is none other than Toastmaster Amit, the wonderful human being with the brightest smile at South Delhi Toastmasters. Today, he's bringing us a topic called Why Toastmaster? And I am actually very curious about what this is all about. So I will hand over the stage to you, Toastmaster Amit. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arushi. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So I am Toastmaster Amit, your host and anchor for today's meeting. Warmly welcome you 818th meeting of South Delhi Toastmaster Club. I want to tell you, I am Vice President membership of South Delhi Toastmaster Club. And as a Vice President membership, my role would be to help the guests to become members. And whenever I interact with the guest, I am bombarded with the n number of questions from the guest. And there is a mutual questions that most of time I am asking from guest and guests are also asking from me. The question is, why Toastmaster? Jenny guest asked me, why should I join Toastmaster? And I asked from the guest, why you want to join the Toastmaster? And this is $1 million question, not just for me, not just for guests, but for everyone in this virtual room. If you refer to the Toastmaster International website, there are 8 reasons that gives us why we should be Toastmaster. Just have a look at these reasons. These are the 8 reasons, and there is a tagline, break barriers, not your budget. And there are 8 reasons, not just the public speaking is a single reason to be a Toastmaster. And now have a look, you can refer the Toastmaster International site and associate your reason to be a Toastmaster. But my dear friends, whether all these reasons are sufficient to be a Toastmaster for you? So let's ask from one of our enthusiastic member the same question, why Toastmaster? So I want to ask from Toastmaster Abu, but for guest, I want to tell you that Toastmaster Abu served as the president of the club, vice president membership of the club, secretary of the club, and apart from that, he represented the club division level, area level, and district level. He won the numerous awards in public speaking, speeches, evaluations, and table topic sections. So I want to ask from Toastmaster Abu, what enticed you to be a Toastmaster? And can you give me a strong reason why that helps you to stay here? Over to you, Toastmaster Abu.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amit. Something which is very important is people, you are the average of 5 people that you spend your time with. And it is absolutely, it's super easy to understand. There are 100% of the population in the year 2022 who want to be successful. As per data, only 5% will be successful. And these 5% are those people who will invest their time in doing something productive. Toastmaster is one such platform. The moment you go ahead and you attend the meeting, you start becoming a part of that 5%. So that's one of the reasons, is because I'm able to take power of so many people. It is so difficult today, especially during pandemic, to come across people who are productive and positive. It is so easy to be negative today. Any second person whom you speak to is so negative. But when you come to this particular platform, people are still talking about ideas. People are talking about finance. People are talking about how to become better. So this is something we needed a lot. We need a positive environment. So I come here in order to ensure that I remain positive and I meet people who are positive and optimistic about life. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Amit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abu. So guys, now you heard from Toastmaster Abu why he is a Toastmaster. And he is a Toastmaster, I think, more than 5 years. And also, he is helping all of us in the Toastmaster journey. Guys, we will all also listen the other reasons from the other members why Toastmaster. But rather, I have a question that Whether that reasons will entice you to be a Toastmaster, that is again a big question. We will see that during the meeting. So I want to tell you that Toastmasters meeting are divided into 3 sections. First is prepared speech section, where prepared speaker come with their speeches as per the pathways, goals, and delivery speeches. Second is table topic section, where table topic master give you a topic and you have to speak on that tape 1 to 2 minutes. So best thing is that guest can participate. So be volunteer. And third is evaluation section, where every speaker, apart from the table topic speaker, will get feedback from the evaluator where he or she did great and where he or she could be better. So now let's start with the prepared speech section. But before that, I would like to call general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Jatin Agarwal. And when I asked from Toastmaster Jatin Agarwal what enticed him to be a Toastmaster, to become a Toastmaster, then he said, to enhance my communication skill, which can help me professionally as well as socially to connect people better. And when I asked strong reason that motivate him to stay here, he said, I didn't have the privilege to work on my communication skill, especially in English during my school days. Well, that was not my fault. But now I have enough resources and time. If I don't work on it today, then that is completely my fault. Over to you, Toastmaster Jatin Agarwal. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amit, for this warm welcome. And now the role of a general evaluator, like today as I'm wearing the hat of general evaluator, my role will be to evaluate the whole meeting, observe whole meeting, whatever is good, whatever we can learn from each other, what could be improved, and how we can make this meeting further better. And being a general evaluator is not an easy thing. I can't observe the whole meeting all by myself alone. It's a huge task. It's a huge responsibility, first of all. So to do that, I have a team of my role players who will help me during in my task. So the first role player is the timer, and I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Aditya, who will explain his role. Toastmaster Aditya, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jatin. So I'm the timer for this meeting, and as the TMOD said, the meeting is divided into 3 sections: prepared speeches, table topics, and the evaluation section. So we have 3 speeches this evening. All the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes, which means you have 30 seconds grace period on both sides. So a speaker has to speak for minimum of 4 minutes 30 seconds. That is, if you speak for 4 minutes 30 seconds, you will be qualified, but you should take your time till 5 minutes for the green card to be shown, 6 minutes for the yellow card, and 7 minutes for the red card, which means you can speak till 7 minutes and 30 seconds, less than 4 minutes 30 seconds, and more than 7 minutes 30 seconds, speakers are disqualified from the voting process. Moving on to the table topic session. This might scare the guests, but I will still want the guests to participate. You have 1 to 2 minutes. We have 20 minutes, which means we have plenty of time. You can volunteer after you see a regular Toastmaster give a speech. You can give your names. You will have 1 to 2 minutes with the grace period on the upper side, which means you have to speak for 1 minute, which means even if you don't understand the topic, just say something. Let it be a filibuster or whatever you want to talk about, even if it's opposite to the topic, that the table topic master will go in details. But I'm just saying that till you see the green card, just be there and filibuster it out. Then you have 1.5 minutes for yellow card and 2 minutes for red card. You have 30 seconds on the higher end, which means you can speak till 2 minutes 30 seconds. Now is the time for the speech and the supplementary evaluators. Both of them get a time for 2 to 3 minutes. Here we have a grace period of 30 seconds on both ends. That is 1 minute 30 seconds till 3 minutes 30 seconds. So 2 minutes green card, 2.5 minutes yellow card, and 3 minutes red card. Moving on to the general evaluator report, you have 5 to 7 minutes, just like the speakers. 30 seconds of grace period on both sides. 5 green, 6 yellow, 7 red. There's also a TMOD closure, which is 1 to 2 minutes. 1 green, 1.5 yellow, and 2 red. And this is how the timings are going to be. So once again, for the guests in the table topic section, even if you are left stumped, still be there that the green card is there, even if just say something. Back to the GE.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditya, for this warm introduction and detailed brief about your role. Now, I would like to call the grammarian of the meeting, Toastmaster Nupur. Stage is yours.
You are on mute, Nupur. You are on mute. We are not able to hear you.
I'll help Nupur. So Nupur is the grammarian for this week, and she'll be looking after your grammatical errors and also talking about the good phrases used in the meeting. And the word of the day will be introduced by the grammarian. Okay, she is connected. Are you connected, Nupur? Okay, still not. So the word of the day, Azad, can you highlight me, spotlight me? The word of the day is sanguine, which means optimistic or positive, especially in a apparently bad or difficult situation. So the examples are: we are sanguine about conducting in-person meeting very soon, and although the economy is looking better, we should not be too sanguine about the future. The idiom of the day is at the helm. So today, Toastmaster Jatin, Toastmaster Amit, and Toastmaster Sandra are at the helm of the meeting, which means they're in charge as the anchors of the meeting. For example, we have a new captain at the helm of the Indian team, or there could be a new face at the helm of after the elections in various states. So that's all. Over to Nupur and then Jatin.
Just doing my audio check. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, carry on.
Yes, it is fine.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And I don't think I have anything to say because I thank our Toastmaster Aditya for taking up the role for me. So thank you so much. I would be back with my report when the General Evaluator calls me. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nupur and Aditya, for explaining the role of grammarian. Now, I would like to call the sanguine Toastmaster of the club, the R counter, TM Pandey. TM Pandey, please explain your stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. The purpose of R counter is to note words and sounds used by as a crutch or pillar words by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words like so, but, and, you know, and also listen for pillar sounds like er. And I will also make a note of repeat words like I mean, and I will come and I will present my report at the end of the meeting, how many times the speakers repeated the words and expressions. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pandey. Now it's time for the prepared speech sections, and I will be back at the end of the meeting with my report, with my players. So I would like to hand over the stage Toastmaster of the day, TMOD, Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jatin, for explaining your role and your team roles. So thank you so much. Now let's start with the prepared speech section. As I already mentioned you, prepared speech section, speaker come with their prepared speeches as per the pathways goals and deliver the speeches. So our first speaker for today's meeting is Toastmaster Utkarsh. Before calling Toastmaster Utkarsh on the virtual platform, I just want to tell you what he said once I asked from him what enticed you to join the Toastmaster? He replied, the sporty people and non-judgmental environment enticed him to join the Toastmaster. And when I asked, what is the strong reason to stay here? Then he said, what motivates him to stay here is firstly, the people and the family that I have brought into. Secondly, to focus my self-development and confidence. Before calling him, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Varsha. And Varsha, it would be great if you share a reason of joining you as a Toastmaster and what motivates you to come every meeting here. Over to you, Toastmaster Varsha.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. So first I would go about my reason. And I think it's a good moment to introduce my role as well. So I'm an evaluator. I think one of the main enticing properties of Toastmaster is getting feedback and evaluation from people who really, like, as he said, are very non-judgmental and like who like wanted the best for you, and everybody wants the same thing. So the goal is same. So the ship goes in the same direction and it's very organized. So that is one of my reasons. Now, coming back to the evaluation, a key, like a prowess of a very good speaker is the ability to structure their speech around the key objectives. So for Toastmaster Utkarsh today, the key objective is around mentorship. So first, there are two important points. The first is to talk about, to speak about mentorship in context of Toastmasters. And the second objective is to really recall and articulate his life experience, previous life experience as a protege. So a protege is a fancy French word for student or a person who is guided by an expert or a mentor. This is my first time being an evaluator, so I hope I can do justice to Toastmaster Utkarsh and everybody else. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Varsha. So Toastmaster Utkarsh is going to deliver his Pathway Innovative Planning Level 2 Project 3 speech. And the title of the speech is that Toastmaster Utkarsh, many roles, many mentors. Many roles, many mentors, Toastmaster Utkarsh. Over to you, Toastmaster Utkarsh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm having an amazing time. He is a fool who doesn't learn from his own mistakes. He is wise who learns from his own mistakes, but he is the wisest who learns from other people's mistakes. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. In the month of January 2020, I was allocated on an outstation audit in Pune. In the month of November 2019, I had just given my CA final exams. So I was on a client doing audit. I was the field in charge. I had 3 people in my team. Mid in January 2020, my results came out. That was, I think, on 14th of January. As you all must be wondering, I didn't pass. I failed. I was completely devastated. My worst nightmares had come true. I was extremely sad. I wanted to be with my family, but I was not able to talk to them or speak to them. My tax teacher used to say, and I quote, जब कोई स्टूडेंट पास होता है तो उसके साथ पूरी दुनिया खड़ी होती है, बट जब वो फेल होता है तो वो अकेला खड़ा होता है. These words started pinching me as I remembered them. At that crucial low time in my life came my mentor, which happens to be my significant other. Her name is Swati Jain. In the guidance of my mentor, I started focusing on the most important subjects, on the important questions that I have to focus on, how I can improve my preparation, giving more mock tests, and the major part was getting back my confidence to start believing in myself that I can do better. On 13 September 2021, I became a chartered accountant. The journey was over. And the first person that I called was her, my biggest cheerleader. As I look now, it would be foolish of me to say that I became a chartered accountant all by myself. This had been my first, most impactful experience of being a protege. Secondly, my mentor has been in my life is my father. As Arushi rightly said, that we need to take care of our personal finances. He has been my financial advisor, guiding me on how to invest and where to invest my money. Thirdly, my mother has been my spiritual mentor. My mother has only expected her children to be just to focus on connecting with the divine and being a good human being. Fourthly, my sister has all my life mentored me on how to be confident and not get misused by people because of my simple nature. She also gives me pro tips about how to dress nicely. Fifth and lastly, my workplace mentor has been Mr. Varun Malik. He was my manager. He gave me 3 gems of wisdom that I still remember to this day. I remember we were staying at a hotel at another outstation audit. He was leaving the organization and we decided to give him a farewell party. Midnight at 12 o'clock, while he was pouring what I recall clearly as a 6th drink, he started giving his advices. The first advice that he gave is to never deliver sub-quality, substandard work. Always strive to deliver quality and value through your work. The second advice he gave us is to never take pride in your position, in your organization. You don't owe anything to anyone. You are not superior to your juniors. And as you move in your ranks in your organization, you only have to work harder and you have to work more as you move in the organization. The third that he said is that if you can't work, just learn to say no. It is better to say no rather than accept everything and not able to do anything. These 5 experiences in my life have been the most impactful experiences of me being a protege. That comes me to actually ponder upon the question, who is a mentor? As per my personal experiences, I can infer that a mentor is a person who has been on the same path as yours and can guide you, can caution you about the common pitfalls. He picks out the relevant from the plethora that is available. And it is a beautiful relationship where the mentor wants to see you succeed in life. If you think about it, mentorship has selfless service added as its underpinnings. We as human beings have the innate natural quality to help other people. We can't ignore other person who actually wants our help. That comes very natural to us. That is why mentorship seems so logical to me when I think about it. As Steve Jobs rightly said, and I quote, that most people don't experience because they don't ask. I have never heard anyone say no to me when I ask them for help. All you have to do is ask. In conclusion, I would like to say that I've been a mentor, I've been a protege all my life, and I've had lots of mentors. The next thing that comes to my mind is, how can I be a mentor to another person. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Utkarsh. It's really amazing speech, and I need to listen it again and need to take all notes. That's really a great learning share. So now, guys, please take 30 seconds and share your feedback on the Toastmaster Utkarsh personal chat. And Toastmaster Aditya, please let me know once 30 seconds over.
Yes.
Please give your feedback, because feedback is the breakfast of champions. Don't miss it.
Time's up.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. So now let's move ahead with our second speaker, Toastmaster Navjot. And Toastmaster Abu Shadab is going to evaluate Toastmaster Navjot's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Abu, and please also share another reason to be here as a Toastmaster and another strong reasons to be here every meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Abu.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amit. The other reason would be there is nothing much to do on a Saturday evening. So, I generally want to spend time in meeting. It's not a lighter note. So we have got Toastmaster Navjot. So Toastmaster Navjot will be delivering his level 3 project to title A Leader's Vision. So ideally, his speech has to have a story or a story with a speech. We wish Toastmaster Navjot all the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abu. So guys, when I asked from Toastmaster Navjot what enticed him to join Toastmaster, then he replied, I was not expressive when I was a kid. Due to that, I joined the Toastmaster. And when I asked strong reason that motivate him to stay here, he said, I used to feel scared to talk to people, especially strangers, and talking to the girls was a way out of my comfort zone. Thinking what she will think about me, and then I realized I must take care of it. He thanks the ladies which motivated him to be here in front of we all guys. Thank you, Toastmaster Navjot, for sharing all that. Toastmaster Navjot, a leader's vision, Toastmaster Navjot. Over to you.
Before I start, let me ask you a question. And I'm sure today's speech is going to be an interesting one. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Navjot, we can't hear you.
Your voice got disconnected, brother. Your voice got disconnected.
Okay, I think he got disconnected. Let's wait.
So he was talking about some network issue. Navjot, we can't hear you.
No.
Would you like to use the loudspeaker option rather than using the earplugs?
You guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, let's roll. Before I start, let me ask you a question. And I'm sure today's speech is going to be an interesting one. So are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't hear Navjot. Is it me?
I also can't hear. So
Navjot,
Navjot,
your
we can't hear you.
Disconnected again.
Oh.
If you can
Navjot,
device.
there seems to be some problem with your network. Would you like to use another network or a mobile network? And
I'm using the mobile network. I disconnected my internet or Wi-Fi, but I don't know what's the problem. You guys can hear me well, or it's still the same?
We can hear you now.
Fine, we can make you the third speaker. You can sort
Yes,
out.
I can step
in.
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
We can do is we can make you the third speaker, and we can have the third speaker right now. Azad, are you ready?
Always.
So let's get Azad and Azad's evaluator for now, and then we'll have Navjot back in the end. Is that
Okay,
fine with
great.
everyone?
Yeah, let me log out
Yeah,
and
it's
log
fine.
in.
Absolutely,
Log
absolutely.
in again. All right, no issues. Azad, okay. Please also highlight your evaluator.
Yes, I'm doing that.
Hi, let's go with the another speaker Toastmaster Ajad. So we can understand that this is everything is now going virtually, and we can here and there these network issues. So now Toastmaster Ajad is going to deliver his speech. But before calling Toastmaster Ajad on the virtual podium, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Arushi. And Arushi, I would also like to know that what enticed you to join Toastmasters and a strong reasons to be here in every meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. For me, there were mainly two reasons. I wanted speaking in front of public to become natural. It should feel like your natural skin. I didn't want to be sweating and out of place, not feel out of place. I wanted to be comfortable in my skin while I was talking to people. So that was not the case before. And I thought that this is the right platform because I get yeah, so hence I thought that, I can't find a better platform than Toastmasters. Two, I wanted to, improve on my articulation, which is really helpful when you write and then read out whatever you want to talk about in your speech. So that was my reasons for joining Toastmasters. Now coming to the speech, Toastmaster Azad's speech for him is to identify his primary leadership style or styles. So he gets 5 to 7 minutes for this particular speech. And I hope we hear some aspects of his leadership styles or, the leadership styles he's seen during his life journey so far. So all the very best to Toastmaster Azad. Back to you, Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi. So when I asked from Toastmaster Ajad what enticed him to join Toastmaster, he said, main reason was to become a master public speaker who can influence people and have impact of his words. The strong reason that motivate him to stay here is that Toastmaster is more than public speaking. It cannot only make you master public speaker, rather it will also make you a complete leader with your kind of leadership style. Toastmaster Ajad, who is a leader? Who is a leader, Toastmaster Ajad? Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Amit Kumar. You are doing a wonderful job, let me tell you, because you have already leveled up the meeting. Let's see what I can do with my speech. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Before I start, let me ask you this question, all of you, but with a simple request, answer in 2-3 words or in one single sentence. That who is a true leader? Who is a leader? Can anyone answer that? You all are welcome.
So I'll answer Toastmaster Azad, but it's a cliche definition: who knows the way, shows the way, goes the way. But I think that's too old now. Leader is someone who doesn't overreact to situations, who is like, I mean, it's difficult to explain in a virtual setup, but if you are a leader, especially the best way to talk about it is in a sports setting. So if a team is on the brink of losing or they're not there, I mean, something not in the, it's not going as per plan. The job of the leader is not to get too flustered, though it's not possible because we are human beings, but still as much as possible to show a calm face, even if it's a poker face, and then tell the teammates whatever especially in a team game, that we still have time and we can go ahead and have a good match. That's what
Exactly. I was not expecting actually this answer, but you have very well explained. Anyone else, but with a request, one sentence or 2-3 words, that also makes you a leader, taking less time.
The leader is
Ajad.
who motivates his team in a right direction to achieve the desired goal.
Very well said, brother. Very well said. With that, I quote, integrity, insight, and inclusiveness are three essential qualities of a leader, Sadhguru, and I unquote. Let me share the meaning of these three words because that will explain that who is a true leader. Integrity means the quality of being honest and having strong moral principle. Being honest doesn't mean that you find some rupee and you are finding the related person. Being honest to yourself means that I have joined the Toastmasters to become a master public speaker. So I have to work in that direction, but without taking roles, without participation, I cannot do it. So what is required? This is the first quality which I resonate with as a leader. So I need to participate more. The second is insight, a deep understanding of what somebody and something is like. If you really understand somebody, you can maintain relationship. And if you can maintain relationship, there you are a true leader. If you can, if you can gauge the situation in depth, you can handle it, you can have the n number of solutions for that solution. So if you have that insight, the last, and this is my favorite, I'm also working it thanks to this particular project that I have started working on this principle, which is inclusiveness. This is very, very crucial, my friends. Let me share that the meaning of this word is the practice or policy of providing equal access to opportunities and resources for the people who might otherwise be excluded or marginalized, such as those having physical or mental disabilities or belonging to other minority groups. Being parents, we focus on more on that child who is weak, and their parents are the true leaders for their children. Yes, mentors as well. So my friends, having these three qualities in their true meaning and sense, along with the courage to lead and confront any situation, makes you a true leader. When I got this project and I read the purpose of the project to find out my leadership style. So first question which came to my mind was not to find out my leadership style. Rather, it was find out that who is a leader. I need to know that first. Do I have those qualities? Can I become a leader who can influence, have impact? Can I become that kind of leader? Am I a leader? First, style is a secondary thing. And when you work in some direction, सारी कायनात आपको उसी डायरेक्शन में लेके जाती है, kind of thing. मतलब whole world is pushing you in that direction. On the same night, I have confronted this movie called 1971, whereby I have happened to observe this character of Manoj Bajpayee. In a nutshell, the story of the movie is that the prisoners of war in kept off jails of Pakistan. But as per the convention, Geneva Convention rule, these prisoners should have been released and given back to the India. But Pakistan did not do so. So Red Cross Society from Geneva Convention visit Pakistan, and just to keep this fact hidden, they shift all these war prisoners to a camp. From that camp, Manoj Bajpayee with his fellow army personals, he tries to run away and try to reach the Indian border, because he knows that after this they will kill us all. So 5 of them leave the campus, and please allow me to share the screen because I want to show you some clip, and I highly recommend that all of you should watch the movie being Indians. And yes, this project to find out what kind of a leader I am gave me a perspective to watch this movie as a leader. And when I watched this movie as a leader, I found this character of Manoj Bajpayee very, very strong. See. See, guys, he shot himself, literally. But the point is not that he shot himself to save his team. The point is Manoj Bajpayee being a leader, even in that emotional contact, that emotional, scene, he pushed his team that, okay, he has gone. He has that calmness in his mind that we have to move, otherwise we all will be killed. And he pushed his team to go, and we have to move on. We have to save ourselves. Let him cover with this piece of. They cover in this piece of cloth and then they move on. That is the sign of a true leader. And I was resonating with the whole character of the Manoj Bajpayee, that if I want to become a leader, I will become a leader like him. No matter what is happening, the show must go on. Even in the end, towards the end, throughout this whole run journey, they reach the border and finally, these two people are alive. Guys, just observe the words which he's saying. Guys, he himself is injured, but what he's trying to, at this time he's leading. He's saying to him that you stay here and I am going towards our border, because they are very close to the border. But unfortunately, he gets bullet from both the sides. From behind, the Pakistani army is firing, and from front, thinking that something happening from Pakistan, Indian army is also firing, and he's getting shot here. When I was watching this movie, I also got very, very emotional being an Indian. But if you observe, in a nutshell, they are in a position, they are just trying to reach to India and to have a look after their family, just to want to meet their family. And we are in a positive environment, having everything, but we have complaints from life. But coming back to my point, which is leadership, Manoj Bajpayee from whole this run leads like a very, very strong leader who never gives up, who is very emotionally strong and a lot of mental strength, who can deal with any kind of situation, can lead his team and can push his team to go further. What is happening with due respect to the dead people, and he has also given the chance to his team to have a dignified death, being a Fauji, being an army personnel. So guys, who is a true leader? And I quote and conclude that, and I quote, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. This is not an old saying. My friend Aditya Sharma, who has just mentioned it, this is a saying which really, really fits in any kind of situation, in any time. With that, thank you so much for your precious time and hearing me. And with that, back to TMOD. Thank you so much.
Wow, Toastmaster Azad, it's amazing speech. It gave me goosebumps. That's great, amazing speech. I request everyone, please take the 30 seconds and give feedback to Toastmaster Azad on his personal chat. And Toastmaster Aditya, please let me know once 30 seconds over. Toastmaster Navjot, can we do an audio video check for you?
Yeah, we can do that. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, now
just give
it's
it a thumbs up.
Yes.
All right. Let's roll.
Time's up.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. So Toastmaster Abu, can you speak out the again speech objective for Toastmaster Navjot speech?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. So Toastmaster Navjot would be delivering his Project 3 Level 2, and the speech objective is to have a story in his speech or a speech in his story. We all wish Toastmaster Navjot all the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abu. Toastmaster Navjot, a leader's vision, Toastmaster Navjot, over to you.
Before I start, let me ask you a question. And today's speech is going to be the interesting one. So are you guys ready? The question is, what comes to your mind when you think of leadership? Please unmute yourself. I would love to hear it.
Leader is somebody who has followers.
Yeah, that's one. That's why we got Instagram and other guys and also other things. Yeah. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Hope you guys doing amazing on this Saturday evening. When I was going through my current project, I came to know about different needs of leadership, like directing, coaching, delegating. Then I did some research on my own life, and I realized no two scenarios were same. They were different and needed to be handled differently. Today, I'm going to share one of my life experiences where I led my team. We took on a project and successfully executed it. For that, we had to go back to 2015 when Navjot was an international student. And you guys know the conditions of international students, right? Yes. My friend Brandon, Simran, and I had a hard time. When I said hard time, we were broke. Super broke. No money for food, no money for travel, and no money to pay the rent for upcoming month. So we decided that we have to come up with an idea, with a job that can pay us 2-3 grand in upcoming week or so. So as a captain of a broke team and my team, Simran and Brendan, we sat down and we started doing our research. We checked LinkedIn, Google, Craigslist, Monsterlist, Indeed, and we also checked 40-50 groups on Facebook buy and sell. But after 2 hours, we got nothing. This discouraged my team and they started scrolling their social media feed. I said, all right, I will check my Facebook too. While I was on Facebook, something hit my mind. I said, that's a great idea. I started posting the pics of last roof clean job I did for this company into buy and sell groups on Facebook. I posted it there in 40-50 groups. Then we went back to our places. The very next morning, when I woke up and I was checking Facebook notifications, I saw a comment. She was Lubata and she was looking for somebody who can do the paint job at her house. I got excited. I said, yes. I immediately called Simran. Man, what was the last job you were doing? Dude, it's 5:30 a.m. Come on, man. Tell me what was the last job you were doing? Paint job, done. He said, what do you mean by that? I said, done. I got a solution that will take care of us for upcoming 2-3 weeks. You and Brandon meet me at 5 p.m. at my place. Meanwhile, Simran and Brandon running their mind that how it's possible. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he came up with an idea that will take care of us. I went to meet Lubata. Meeting Lubata, I came to know a couple of things. Number one, her dad is retired. Number two, they have little to less money. And number three, they were looking for somebody like us who can do their job at very affordable price. So I negotiated the deal and we came up with a last figure of $1,800. Now you guys will be thinking, the guy's got a job and that's a happy ending. No, as they say, picture abhi baki hai mere dost. Story is not over yet. The real story just has started. How are we going to bring the ladders, paint and brushes to Lubata's place as we don't have a car and we were broke? So I renegotiated the deal. Hey Lubata, how about this? If I give you much better deal, rather than doing your job for $1,800, we do it for $1,500. How that sounds? She said, that's great. What I need to do? Great. All you have to do, Luvata, is to pay us $300 in advance. She said, all right. We got excited. We packed our stuff. And the next day, the guys were on the site. We thought it will take us 2-3 days, but we were wrong. It took us full 5 days to finish that job. Anyway, anyhow, with the help of only painter on our side, Simran, we able to finish the job. Because the captain of the group team, Navjot, acted merely as a server, serving them food because I didn't know how to paint. The evening we finished the job, Luvata invited us for the dinner. While we were sitting on the dinner table, I appreciated Luvata for helping us out in that situation and asked for referrals. Luvata gave us 3-4 names of her friends who need help with the handyman jobs. After that, we did the math. We hardly make $500 from this job. But following up with the referrals she gave us, we were able to land 5-6 big projects that month, each worth more than $3,000. And it took care of us well in terms of food, travel, and monthly rent. Not 1 month, for a couple of months. Friends, we didn't solve $1 billion problem, or $1 million problem, or not even $100,000 problem. So let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, what one thing this story relates to?
The power of social media.
Yeah, that's right. I got you. The one thing this story relates to, that it's all about helping people out, solving their problems, and bringing a smile on their face. Whether it was my team, Simran and Brandon, who were brought along with me, or our customers, Luvata and friends, who were looking for an affordable way to do their handyman jobs. And moreover, most of the time, our team is not aware of their potential, and they do not align with the vision of the organization. So as a leader, it's our job to inspire them, motivate them to realize their potential and align them with the vision of the organization. And the same with the Toastmasters. That's why we got the presidents. That's why we got the VPEs. And that's why we have e-seating. Because maybe you are not aware of your potential today, and you are just about to deliver your speech tomorrow, the icebreaker speech. And in next 2-3 years, you are a world champion. Who knows? Isn't that great? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Navjot. It's amazing speech. I request everyone, please give feedback to Toastmaster Navjot in his personal chat. And Toastmaster Aditya, please let me know once 30 seconds over. I just want to say that we are learning here, so please keep giving your feedback because that helps us
Let's
to
also vote
learn and improve.
simultaneously. Azad, all the 3 speakers are qualified.
Okay, Toastmaster Ajad, you can launch the poll also.
Right away, sir. Just give me a second.
Time's up. So as a slight change, we're going to have 15 minutes table topics. All right. As a slight change, we're going to have 15 minutes table topics. Thank you.
4-5 people are left. Can you vote, please? Still 4-5 people are left. Should I end this?
Yes,
If it's over 1 minute, we can end it.
Okay. We have still 3-4 seconds. Okay, you can continue. Thank you.
Toastmaster Sandra, are you ready?
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajad. So here is
Yes, Aditya.
prepared speak section over. Now we are going with the table topic section, most amazing section of the meeting. And Toastmaster Sandra is the table topic master for today's section. And when I asked from Toastmaster Sandra what enticed her to join Toastmaster Club, so she told the strong reason for her joining the Toastmaster Club is it boosts her confidence and leadership skills. She loves me, she loves Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster Sandra. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. Now I would like to share the screen and we'll start with the first first volunteer. I think Toastmaster Varsha is the first volunteer. So please just a second. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Sandra, can you put it on presentation mode?
Yeah, I'm just doing it. Okay. First of all, I'll tell you the rules. Each speaker will be given 1 to 2 minutes to speak, and in 1 minute you will be shown 1 minute you will shown green card, 1.5 yellow, and 2 red. Members and guests are requested to nominate themselves in the chat box. Please choose a number, Varsha, between 1 to 15. 1 to 10, sorry.
7.
Okay.
Shall I begin?
Yeah. Can you see this topic?
Yes. Okay. So,
do you think spontaneity has a cost? Do you think spontaneity has a cost? Toastmaster Varsha, over to you.
What can I say? This topic I think is perfect for me because when it comes to personality wise, like I'm a very spontaneous person, like extremely spontaneous to my detriment. So since I have a lot of experience with spontaneity, I can say definitely it has a cost. The best part about, like, I want to talk about the pro side of spontaneity as well, because it really gives you a lot of novel experiences, new ventures in life open up and you impulsively take a decision, or you kind of act on your gut feeling. It can turn out good, but like when it becomes a habit, when all you do is like spontaneous efforts, it's very detrimental. The reason why I'm saying this is because personally, how I understand spontaneity is like an emotional peak in you, like an emotional, like either you get excited or you get nervous, and then you act on that particular thing. So the first problem with spontaneity is that you don't think too much before acting, and that can lead you into trouble, definitely. Second problem with spontaneity is that we get too habitual, like, as I said, it's like a personality flaw in me that I'm very spontaneous. So I'm very habituated to respond to these like emotional peak. Like every time I get excited into something, I just throw myself into it without thinking. And before knowing, like 1 hour has passed and I was supposed to do something else, but I spontaneously spent my time on something else.
Yellow card.
It's I think a time killer, or like a time, like with great power comes great responsibility. So I think spontaneity should be held responsible. Like we should be more responsible around spontaneity. That's what I've learned in my last 25 years of experience. That is all. Thank you.
Okay, that was great, Toastmaster Varsha. I request more guests to volunteer, please.
Sandra, next is Toastmaster Kuber.
Okay. Toastmaster Kuber, just a second. You need to choose a number between 10 to 1 to 10. And 7 has gone. So you need to choose from 8 or 6. Means 7 is not available. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Am I clear? Is my speech clear?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, I'll choose number 4.
Okay. So your topic is, what is your favorite role in a Toastmasters meeting? What is a favorite role in a Toastmasters meeting? Toastmaster Kuber, over to you.
Toastmasters and guests. I have, I think, filled the shoes of around 4 to 5 roles in my last 2 months as a Toastmaster. I was very excited about being a prepared speaker because that is always the most favorite part of a Toastmaster meeting for me. But the role I most enjoyed was that of the R counter. And the reason for that is I got the opportunity to take the name of every Toastmaster and tell them their flaws without using the CRC approach. It was wonderful. I could jump directly to the R and tell them, you said R these many times, these many times, you should improve here, you should improve there, and which also happens to be my favorite genre. In fact, I have done all my learnings in this manner. How I got interested in science was, why will this not work like this? So I was very good at spotting mistakes. So it turns out that R counter suits my personality the most as well. I look forward to being an evaluator further. I haven't been an evaluator yet. And I guess I'll also learn how to evaluate in the CRC approach, because that is one place where I think I need to improve, which is giving feedback in a manner which is taken constructively. That was from me. Back to Table Topic Master.
Okay, Toastmaster Kuber, you were great on it. Now I would like to request the guest to volunteer and participate in the table topics.
You can choose Zishan.
Okay. Is guest, he's a guest or a Toastmaster?
Yes, I'm a guest.
Okay. Guest Dilshad, you need to choose a number from 4, leaving 4 and 7, you need to choose the numbers.
It's Zishan. Zishan, please choose a number.
Okay, so I thought that you are probably addressing to Dilshad. Can you repeat that, the number that I need to probably choose?
You need to choose from 4, leaving 4 and 7. You need to choose any number leaving 4 and 7.
Okay, I'll go with 3.
Okay, just a second. Okay, so your topic is, if you could change handshake as a ritual in Toastmaster, what would you replace with it? If you could change handshake as a ritual at Toastmasters, what would you replace it with it? Over to you.
One second, Sandra, he's not a Toastmaster, might not be aware that happened in a physical meeting. Could
Okay,
you
yeah, sorry.
just change the question for him, please?
Yeah, I'll just, so, okay. Okay. When and how did you find your last motivation? When and how did you find your last motivation?
All right, so thank you for the opportunity, all the Toastmasters and the people in the club. So the way how I take my journey as, because and that's again something that inspired me to be a part of Toastmasters. The way how I take my life is that every day I believe in finding some victory for me, because that keeps me self-motivated even when people are not around to motivate. I can find the victory myself to be self-motivated. So the last victory that I found for myself was, so in this COVID-19 thing, it is happening. People are locked up at their home, working from home. right? So they are often going through a lot of mental stress and the setbacks in their life, and they are not even able to go ahead and share it with the people. So the biggest motivation I possibly can go ahead and imagine in the last few months is I happen to have somebody in the team who I had regular conversations to uplift his morale and to make him feel motivated, because he was somebody who was keep on feeling defeated. Now that costed his performance, and after having regular conversation with him and trying to know him better and creating a safe environment for him to open up with me so that he is able to vent out whatever is going on in his life. So I think that is something that worked out, and after hard work for 4 months, we were able to uplift his performance. And now when I see this person, since my office is open for some 15-20 days now, when I see this person, I see a completely changed person who is happy, who is sounding happening, and he is able to go ahead and put in those efforts that is required for him to earn money or to deliver the best that we expect out of him. So I think that always works me for as a motivation whenever I have to deal with the people. I'm kind of person who is into the people. So I think that is the biggest motivation that keeps motivating me to continue go ahead and invest in the people, so that if we are able to go ahead and bring some change in their lives, I mean, that is the best thing that we can do. Yeah. So that's the motivation.
Okay, any other take on that?
Yeah. So again, one more thing is I'm very inspired with the storytelling thing. And that's again one of the reasons that I wanted to join this Toastmaster, so that I can probably learn some kind of a storytelling. I'm aware that we guys covered this storytelling also. So as and when I continue go ahead and learn things, right, and I continue explore that how to do the better storytelling and all of those things. So I think when I go ahead and share stories with the people and the kind of positive vibes and the feedback I receive, I think that is also again motivating me to continue go ahead and develop
Okay,
myself and invest in
okay.
myself.
Okay, so great take on that. Now, can I have other volunteers?
Please choose Sunil.
Okay, Toastmaster Sunil, please choose a number from 1 to 10.
I'll go with 5.
Okay. I'll just share the screen. Just give me a moment. So, okay. What is the most overrated fade followed by the millennials today? What is the most overrated fade followed by the millennials today? Over to you, Toastmaster Sunil.
Well, there are too many fads that the millennials follow today, but the most overrated is rebuking parents for whatever is being suggested by the parents to those kids. I believe that that seems to be a bit overrated because parents need to understand that with each generational change, the mindsets change, the environment changes, and therefore, if they wear the lens that they sort of experienced when they were growing up and hearing from their parents of how how our generation has changed from their generation, things would sort of tend to stabilize and take its own place with the next generation. So the discussion and the rebuking that the millennials get from their parents, about about how they are being mocked by the millennials, their kids, is what I believe is a big fad, and that we should get away from that. I think we should try and see ourselves on top of how people or how the kids behave, be at the helm of affairs of the kids, to see in what environment they are operating, appreciate it, and more importantly, keep their home, their environment sanguine, to be able to make peace with the millennials, their kids. Thank you. Back to you, Sandra.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil, for a great take on that. Now, I would like to have some
Just
other.
to reiterate, we can have one more speaker only.
Yeah, one more speaker.
One final
If
speaker.
we have.
Ashish.
Is he a guest or a
Guest, Ashish.
Ashish to
So, guest Ashish, please choose a number.
Number 2.
Okay. Just a second. Number 2. Okay, just a second. When and how did you? Just it's done. Sorry, Ashish. 2 is already taken. Can you please choose another number?
Number 1.
Okay. What if you could change handshakes as a ritual at Toastmaster? What would you replace it with?
I literally don't know that there is a ritual like that. Maybe that I can get some other option.
Okay. What is that one bright thing that brightens your everyday, up your everyday? Maybe
What's the
this
one
you
thing
can
that
try.
brighten me every day?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So it's my pleasure to be here, and thanks for the opportunity. I think that one of the things which brighten me every day is seeing people happy, and that's the way I feel myself more accomplished. And why I feel this, because the fact is that I am surrounded by people. I'm surrounded by the power of people. And when I meet someone and I discuss things with them, the kind of notion and the kind of energy that I get from them, it excites me. It makes me motivated. And that's the way I start my morning. So just when I wake up in the morning, the regular ritual that I do, the regular habit that I contain is to talk to my son, talk to my wife, and then their smile brighten me up every day. And this is the way that I start. But then the people around me, like when I'm moving towards to my office, meeting my people and discussing things with them is also brighten me. But on top of all this, there are certain things which also brighten me, that how people are moving towards to the final accomplishment and how I can contribute on that. That's quite important for me as a person, as an individual. And I see that these all things also evolve me over a period of time, because I've seen that the moment I see the growth of others and my inclusion in there, it also evolved me as a person. And that had given me an enormous happiness, or the contentness, which definitely someone probably would seek for. Now, I probably would share a small story that how someone actually, attended a seminar and then found themselves to be more motivated towards to meeting and networking people, and then had changed their personality and the traits of, what they were before to what they become later. And this all had happened actually because of the fact that they understood one main factor, that whatsoever that you're doing is empowered by the surrounding, and the surrounding is full of people, the bright people around you. And the moment you add that kind of notion in your anything which you do, I think that works for it, for you to accomplish many things. So that's my understanding, that's my learning for a long period of time. And with that note, I will drop myself here, and hand over the stage to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Ashish, for a great take on that. Timer, are all speakers qualified?
Yes, all the speakers are qualified. Toastmaster Varsha, Toastmaster Kuber, guest Zishan, Toastmaster Sunil, and guest Ashish, all of them are qualified.
Okay, I request the tech master to launch the poll for voting.
We can have 5 more votes. It is just a one click away, guys. Please vote. Vote है तो note है. Please vote.
Can we make it the other way? Note
Yes,
and
that is also true.
It works.
But we can only give the virtual note right here. चलो 2 तो और आ गए. Thank you so much, guys. I'm ending the poll. You can go ahead.
Let's give the stage to our GE now.
Yeah, now I will request I will hand over the stage to the GE for the evaluation.
Thank you so much, Sandra. And first of all, please have a round of applause for our table topic master, TM Sandra. We had a wonderful session. I enjoyed it a lot. So have a round of applause for Toastmaster Sandra. Now, before I begin my report, I would like to call the speech evaluators, and I start with the first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Varsha. Toastmaster Varsha, over to you.
Hello, am I audible to everybody?
Yes,
okay.
You are.
Thank you. I'm here back trying to evaluate Toastmaster Utkarsh. So what I want to begin with is I was really impressed by the structure of his speech. In terms of he spoke very clearly, he really all the topics were very clear in terms of who has been his mentors, his personal experiences, then who is mentor in general, and then he left us with a question which was his personal question was how he can be a mentor. So I really liked that structure, and it was very clear what he was talking about. Also, when he was giving the examples of his mentors, he mentioned 5 people, and he went he became a little more specific about 2 people. First, his fiance and his life partner. And we could there was a story. There was a graph of how his life was not going very well, how he didn't do well, and then how she appeared and she kind of helped him go in a direction which was a bit better. And finally, how he overcame that problem. So it was very nice to hear that, because every time the kind of like the before and the after effect of having a mentor in life. And then the second mentor, he gave us the story in a different way, in terms of like the nuggets of knowledge that his mentor, his manager gave him, the 3, I would say the 3 points. So it was nice how he structured these examples, also like how he gave like a variety in these things. I liked how he spoke about long-term mentors and short-term mentors, how his family members have played that role. And also to commend Utkarsh, he dresses very nicely, so his sister has really, I would say, drilled it into him, and I really appreciate that. Now for a recommendation, I think this has often been said, like every time I've heard Toastmaster Utkarsh speech, is voice modulation. I feel like there's a flatness and a monotone in his voice which carries forward to the whole speech, and I would like to hear more emotions or expressions. So I think a good way to go about it would be to actually feel those emotions while talking. And it's actually hard for me too, but I'm trying to improve on that as well. Now, another commendation was that in a great speech, I think to keep people interesting, you have to jumble up things, like put different styles of content. As I said, the structure was very nice, but also he inserted very, useful and very valid and very relevant quotes. So there were 2 quotes in the beginning and in the middle, and the stories that he added were also like relevant to the speech, and his also personal life. It showcased the kind of person that he is. And also the nuggets of knowledge were very nice. So to conclude, I think the structure was great. The voice modulation can be better. And also, I think all the right punches were there. A key takeaway for me is like ask for help when you need it. So that is all for my evaluation. Thank you very much. Over to you, the general evaluator. Jatin, you're on mute.
Oh, apologies. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Varsha, for your detailed feedback and evaluation. I'm hoping Toastmaster Utkarsh has so many takeaways for his next speech. Now, moving on to our next evaluator, Toastmaster Abu. Toastmaster Abu, stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So one of the things, the moment he started speaking, this particular thing in my background, Okay, so I'm going to start with something, whenever we go outside, we work, and that's how we start our journey. So if you listen to this particular song, you will understand how, again, it's nothing about color of the skin, but how people, they go struggle. So whenever we talk about stories, stories need to have struggle. And today, Toastmaster Navjot shared his struggle. And it's only when you struggle, then you enjoy the beauty of life. Okay, so what I really liked, and this is something that goes hands down, Toastmaster Navjot, I'm sure he's in Gurgaon right now, and you can see he's wearing a jacket, which shows his professionalism. You cannot be a storyteller if your heart is not there. So you can see his complete heart is there. The second thing which is very important for a storyteller is, as you understand, stories will have ups and downs. He also had his downs twice. There was a network glitch. If he was an ordinary storyteller, he would have lost his confidence. But he was a true storyteller and he did not lose his confidence. Okay, so that was amazing. The third thing that I liked was he used the power of three. So when he spoke about the lady, he spoke that she had a retired dad, she had less income, and she wanted somebody to go ahead and do the job in a very less amount of money. Now that is the power of three that we use. And the fourth thing that I really liked was he started with a question. Questions are the best way to keep your audience engaged. Okay. Now let's understand, every story can always be better. Like, when we saw Bahubali, and when the next Bahubali came, it was always better. We watched Pushpa, now Pushpa Part 2 will come. And what we are expecting, a better one. So how can his story become a better one? So I remember this particular phase wherein he had called his friend Simran. And when he had to act, he could have just used the stage coverage, right? So he was here, he could have just gone here. So if you could have used the stage coverage, it would have been so nice. The second thing is, I liked from the fact that he made an effort to sprinkle humor. But for humor, you have to wait for the pause. Where he mentioned Navjot does not know painting. So what he was doing was he was serving food. So if you could stop and smile, this will give the audience a hint that it is funny and they laugh, because obviously we expect some kind of humor in story. So in nutshell, what I really like, my takeaway is, when I give my next speech, I will get my jacket from laundry so that I can even go ahead and wear a jacket and deliver my speech. The second thing that I liked was he spoke about the struggles that people go through. And that's amazing. And the third thing that I liked about was how he did not lose his confidence. What can definitely be better is stage coverage and sadly adding of humor. And last but not the least, the song goes on. That will be all. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abu, for your detailed evaluation. And I hope the song will goes on Brown Monday, but we don't have time for that. And let's move on to our next evaluator, Toastmaster Arushi. Toastmaster Arushi, screen is yours. Please continue.
Thank you, General Evaluator Jatin. Okay. Now, guys, in the 20th century, things changed significantly and drastically from, of course, the 19th century. Why do you think that happened? Anybody?
Technology.
Technology. And
Innovation.
technology happens to be an innovation, right? So innovation is what drives, changes, and it's what we look forward to, and that's what makes our life better and more interesting. So in today's speech, Toastmaster Azad innovated and managed, to present a video along with a speech, which made the whole deal very interesting. Not only did he capture the audience engagement through this, but he also managed to ask a question to the audience. And, right from there, he had all of us hooked. So he wound his story on leadership around a video clip and then shared it with the audience. Well done, amazing job done. And you know how inspiration can knock on your door at any time and from anywhere. And I'm glad that for Toastmaster Azad, it was through this movie that you shared it with all of us. It was definitely something out of the box, and we all enjoyed it. Now, I'll be the villain here and tell you a few things that you, the hero of the speech, can improve and make it a blockbuster speech from the next time. So you must have heard about this phrase called out of sight is out of mind. And my dear friend, this is similar to when you lose eye contact with the audience. So when you lose eye contact and look at your notes, you lose that engagement with the audience, which you so rightfully captured in the beginning. But by looking at your notes, you sort of lose that. So please work on that from next time. Also, in the middle, when you talked and showed us a clip, you talked about how the soldiers fighting it out and we sitting in the comforts of our house. It is a valid point, and I understand that, but I think that's for another speech because it didn't resonate with the purpose of today's speech and the leadership style that we were looking out for. So, that was the content can be more specific to the speech. And then there was a bit of a lag when you were going back and forth between your audio and video. So probably you might want to practice a little bit beforehand and work on that before you present your final speech. So, I really liked the message that you shared with us. It was so impactful, how you see leadership. And that was like that, you really see a leader as someone who does not lose his ground, even when some difficult situation arises, which was, I think, well received by all of us. So yeah, just to close it in a nutshell, well done on the innovative audience engagement, unusual inspiration, which again caught our fancy. Then I would say that, just be mindful of your eye contact and be a little specific about the content and relate it to the purpose of the speech, and practice a little bit before you come and give the final speech. So there is no technical lag. Very impactful message. That's all from my end. Back to you, G.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aruchi, for your detailed evaluation. I hope our Toastmaster Azad had some work to do for his next speech, and best of luck to all the speakers. Now, before I give my report, my report is divided into two sections.
Jatin, first we'll have the voting, then the supplementary evaluators. So,
okay,
Azad, all the three speech evaluators are qualified.
Okay, sir.
Jatin, we'll have the supplementary evaluators first.
Someone said note hai to vote hai. So
okay.
Let me put it in this way right now. Note hai to vote hai.
Yeah, it works both ways. First, you gotta get the notes, then you can get the votes, then you again get the notes.
Yes, it is a cycle. 4 more people can vote. in the interest of time, I'm ending the poll now.
Jatin, we can have the supplementary evaluators now.
Okay, cool. So I would like to invite the first evaluator, timer of the day, Toastmaster Aditya.
First,
Toastmaster
we'll have the
Aditya.
grammarian and the hour counter, then the timer.
Okay, no problem. So Toastmaster Nupur, screen is yours. Please present your report.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. I would verbally like to present my report. So right now I am at the helm of the ship that would make sure that has to sail through the sea of proper grammar usage. And thus I would like to congratulate all the speakers here for using some really good phrases. Some of them that I captured were twice used was the phrase, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, shows the way. Out of sight, out of mind was another one that was used. Connecting with the divine. With great power comes great responsibility. Uplifted his morale. These were a couple of phrases that were used. Some good usages of the words were cliche, enticed, articulate, protege, monotone, articulation, devastated, plethora, integrity, inclusiveness, spontaneity, detrimental, rebuking, fad, accomplishment, and the list goes on, so I'll stop here. The Toastmasters who used the word of the day were Toastmaster Jatin and Toastmaster Sunil. The idiom of the day was used once by Toastmaster Sunil. And however, I'm sanguine that more and more Toastmasters will use the word of the day and the idiom of the day going forward. Some not so good usages that we might want to look at is, I was on a client should either be I was with a client or at a client location, depending on how it has to be phrased. Ladies, which motivated him should be women who motivated him. Who should be the word that we use? That was my reasons. Was and reasons don't go together. So those were my reasons. Now, I'm not really sure what did we mean by confronted this movie. So confronted is not a word that would fit here. Probably the usage, there was some other word that the speaker was trying to use. Army personnels. Army is in any case plural. So army and personnels don't go together. A army personnel again should be an army personnel. When I asked from TM ABC should be when I asked Toastmaster ABC. From is not needed there. What should you replace with it was mentioned. I think that was incorrectly mentioned there. It should be what would you replace it with? So it comes before with. Invest with the people was supposed to be invest in the people as the usage goes. There were a couple of Hindi words and sentences that were used. Sometimes they were translated and sometimes they were not. I would request whenever a phrase, a word in any other language is used, would request everyone to make sure that we translate it. That was all from my side. Back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nupur, for your detailed report. And I hope everybody had some good takeaways from that. Now, calling the R counter of the day, Toastmaster Pandey. Toastmaster Pandey, screen is yours.
Yeah, good evening all. This is my report. The sergeant at arms, he was flawless, and the evaluator, Toastmaster Arusi, she used A 4 times, hum 1 times, and 13 times. And Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amit, he was flawless. And general evaluator, Toastmaster Jatin Agarwal, he used A 3 times and hum 3 times. And speaker on Woodkers, he used A 1 time. And conclusion, he repeated the words. Then evaluator Varsha, she used A 3 times, 2 times, well 2 times, so 2 times, and 4 times. And speaker Ajat also used 1 time. And evaluator Abu, Toastmaster Abu, he used 2 times during his evaluation. And table topic master Sandra, she used A 2 times, and I repeats twice. She repeats I like that. And the speaker Navjot, he was flawless. Throughout the speech, his usages and his no words, filler words found. And timer Aditya, he was also flawless. There is nothing wrong there. And the grammarian report also excellent. So this is my account report. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pandey, for your detailed report. Now, I would like to call the timer of the day, Toastmaster Aditya, to share his report. Toastmaster Aditya, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jatin. Just a minute. Okay, so let's look at the timing for this meeting. And I'll be sanguine about how the timings were. All right, so let's start. Okay, so the Sergeant at Arms took, can anyone help time me? Can someone, Azad? Okay.
Yes.
So the Sergeant at Arms took 1 minute 30 seconds. The President's opening was 5 minutes 37 seconds. For the Toastmaster, the timing was 4 minutes 45 seconds, but he'll be qualified because we'll go with that. The first speaker was on time, 7 minutes 9 seconds, just at the brink. The second speaker was Toastmaster Navjot. Despite all the glitches, the second speaker was on 5 minutes 46 seconds. The third speaker was just on the limit at 7 minutes 30 seconds. So a couple of seconds more and the speaker would have been disqualified. So I think all the speakers did well enough to be aware of the time, and they were in that duration. Moving on to the table topic speakers, kudos to the two guests who spoke on the stage and had something to contribute, and they were right on time. Guest Ashish, good job for going all the way till 2 minutes. It's never easy when you are speaking for the first time that you cross the 2-minute limit. It's difficult to cross 1 minute for even an experienced Toastmaster to think about things, but you adhere to all the timings. Toastmaster Varsha 2 minutes 9 seconds. Toastmaster Kuber 1 minute 41 seconds. Guest Zishan, another great effort, good topic and good thoughts on the topic, 1 minute 54 seconds. Toastmaster Sunil 1 minute 41 seconds. So all the speakers were on time. So let's give a round of applause for sticking to that. Our three evaluators, once again, Toastmaster Varsha was just on the brink at 3 minutes 29 seconds, couple of seconds more, and it would have been more than just a red card. Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Abu, sticks to the time, knows how the time goes, 3 minutes 20 seconds. Evaluator 3, Toastmaster Arushi, right on time, 3 minutes 1 seconds. So far, the supplementary evaluators, Toastmaster Pandey 1 minute 8 seconds, 20 seconds more and you would have been disqualified. So for now, unless we can think of something else, Toastmaster Pandey will be disqualified unless we can give him the leeway. I'll leave it to the GE. The grammarian, thanks Sunupur for taking up the role just a couple of days ago and doing a stupendous job and being sanguine about the role and being at the helm of affairs as far as the grammarian is concerned. 2 minutes 34 seconds, and Azad, I suppose I've taken 2 minutes or less.
You have taken 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
All right, so I'm also right on time. Now I'll give the stage. I think we'll go with Pandey as qualification for now, but we'll be strict as the meeting goes on. So back to, don't include this in the timing, back to the GE.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditya, the timer of the day, for your detailed report. Now I'll start with my report, and my report is divided into 3 sections. First, I'll cover the supplementary and speech evaluators. Then I'll cover the anchors, and after that, I'll also cover the overall meeting, what happened good, what can be improvements. Now, starting with the supplementary evaluator, evaluator 1, Toastmaster Vaisha. She explained her role very well. It was very detailed. She explained the objective of the speech so that everyone could get an idea what the speech is about and what the speaker is accomplishing here. So, and during the even in her report, she shared the glimpse of the story, she summarized the whole story. She used the CRC approach. She also mentioned the takeaways. She used her whole time to give a detailed evaluation. Everything was great, even though it was she was a first timer. She did a great job. She nailed it. Just one recommendation: during her introduction, it is required to mention the pathway, level, and project number. So just keep that in mind. Whenever you are a speech evaluator, you have a responsibility to mention these numbers and metrics also. So just work on that. Apart from that, you nailed it. Great job. Coming to our second evaluator, Toastmaster Abu. I mean, it will be very foolish if I give my evaluation on that. What was not there? Like Toastmaster Abu kept mentioning the importance of storytelling, and he did use the power of storytelling in his evaluation. He explained the role very well, and it was a detailed evaluation. Whenever during his evaluation, he mentioned all the commendations by points, like 1, 2, 3, 4. When we use these kind of bullets points and with fingers, people can understand those points very well. It's a sort of very old school thing how teachers used to teach us. So he used that. He became that teacher at that point of time. He utilized his time. He also mentioned the takeaways. He also used the CRC approach. As far as improvements, I couldn't find any improvements. It's a live example. If anybody want to nail the evaluation, please just copy this and you are good to go. Coming to our third evaluator, Toastmaster Arushi, the President Sahiba, she also explained the rule very well. And during the report section, so there are different ways how you can give your evaluation. Toastmaster Abu directly started with points and give a detailed evaluation. She started with a question. It helps to get attention of the audience and a different take to give evaluation. She did audience engagement with better engagement. She also used the elements, as the speech was supposed to somewhere related to movies. She used the elements of movies, how you can make a blockbuster speech in the next time. She also used the CRC approach, summarized the whole evaluation, mentioned the takeaways, and used the total amount of time. Only thing I would suggest as an improvement, she also forgot to mention the level, project number, and the pathway. So please use that and you are good to go. Coming to our speech supplementary evaluators, Toastmaster Aditya. Toastmaster Aditya, I can't say if there is a type, there is a role, and if there is a maximum good level of representation, then Toastmaster Aditya was one of them. Even in his introduction, he explained the role of a timer very well. He used the screen, and sometimes when we are explaining, sometimes we are not able to articulate what our thoughts are. With the help of screen, everybody can know what is happening and can get an idea about what even somebody is new to the session. So good job on that, Toastmaster Aditya. I have nothing to say in terms of improvement. It's all we can. If it will be good if we can learn a half of it from your side. Coming to our grammarian, Toastmaster Nupur, she used during her report, she shared some good idioms, good words, usage of hand gestures. She used the hand gestures like when she mentioned all the bad usages and the improvements. She covered the word of the day and the idiom. She also catches the Hindi words and how to correct them if we are using them, to use English translation of that. Just one recommendation from my side. It's not just for Toastmaster, no, but it's for all the supplementary evaluators. Please come before some time when the meeting is start and check your audio video quality. We saw there was some turbulence and sometimes we can't avoid that, but it's better to be prepared first and use your time. Coming to Toastmaster Pandi, he also explained the role very well. He used the screens to cover all the speakers. Just one tip, and I know he had a lot of time to spare. Is Toastmaster Pandi, you mentioned the problem, but you didn't share the solution. As a our counter, it's also your responsibility. If you are mentioning some problem, you also should mention how you can avoid those fillers. What are the tips you can use to avoid those ahs, ums, and clutch words? If you could use that, it would be amazing from your side. Now, coming to anchors, TMOD, Toastmaster Amit. Toastmaster Amit will love you all for your for showing the importance of Toastmaster in our life, how it can make a huge difference. He addressed the audience with warm welcome. He did member interaction, helps us understand the power of Toastmaster with graphics. During the whole meeting, he commended the speakers as well as interacted with the audience. Just one recommendation, I guess. I've just the time got I just feel you could use better time engagement. So, for example, if you used some audience interaction, you could give a sort of a disclaimer. Please make it short and quick so that people don't use too much time. Coming to Toastmasters Centra, first of all, round of applause for showing the courage of a table topic master. You showed like you nailed it. You did a great job being a table topic master. Just few recommendation, and now you are not a newbie. You can level up your game. So first thing is prepare yourself first. How you will interact with the members. How you can even if it's your speech. If there are some things, you can prepare those things. And just one thing, at the very initially you started the speech, you didn't explain the role of table topic master, what table topics help in general, how it can help you, what is the role of table topics. So you could explain that. And as well as, so as if you are using screens, so show the screen and then you can switch it off so that people can see this face of. Now, apart from that, meeting started very well. Even before that, 6:28 p.m. I shared some financial tips. As takeaways, I have some souvenirs. I don't have any improvements in sort of all meeting. So, for example, Abu mentioned we became the average of 5 people around us. So it was one thing I could take from my side. Through Toastmaster Utkar's speech, we had 3 different stories and so many learnings. We can learn the 5 gems he shared from his speech. I also got to learn about the top 3 qualities of a true leader and the patriotic side of a soldier from Toastmaster Azad's speech. Apart from that, how to find a solution from the last speaker. It's okay to ask for help. It's not going to make you weak. So these are my takeaways I learned from this meeting. And well, that's it from my end. Back to the TMOD. Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jatin, for this detailed report. We loved a lot. So now come to the conclusion part.
Sir, launch for the auxiliary role players and the.
Okay.
Let's launch the vote first. Quickly, we are almost on the brink. So Azad, everyone is qualified.
Yes, for auxiliary role player, everyone is qualified. Please vote, guys.
Let's speed up because we're just 2 minutes 11 seconds away from the meeting end. So for today, we'll give a few leeways just for today. All right.
I'm ending the poll. You can continue, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajad. So guys, I want to ask from you, can my reason be your reason to be a Toastmaster? Or can these reasons that are given on the Toastmaster International site would be your reason to be a Toastmaster? So I know that would be not be your reason to be a Toastmaster. Still, I want to share my reason to be a Toastmaster. I read a book, and in that book, I read that whenever you get an opportunity to speak on a public platform, and if you are not availing that opportunity, then you are going to strengthen your confidence that you are not a public speaker. And I don't want to do that. So when I'm interacting with the people, then I am also getting this question that, did you become an effective leader and speaker? So what people says, I want to share a little example. Around 1 year back, one of my another senior manager called me and asked me, Amit, what you do? Why people respect and love you so much? Then I told, I am a Toastmaster. You are what your record says you are. So this year I awarded as an employee of the year in my organization, and I give that whole credit to the Toastmaster journey. Now my reasons not going to help you to be a Toastmaster for you. So you have to find your reason. What's your reason and why? Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. So I'm at the helm because Toastmaster Arushi is unavailable. So before we go further, let's vote for the best anchor, Toastmaster Azad. All the 3 anchors are qualified. Yes, they are qualified. Yes, they are qualified.
Give me a second then. You can go ahead. Just
Thank
give
you.
me
So an important announcement that the club officers training program, which happens every 6 months for the club officers who are new in that January to June cycle, they are given a few tips and training on how to improve their role and what are the tools they can use. So if you have attended a previous COTP, you can tell me or Arushi, we can tell the division and the district. If you have not attended and tomorrow will be your first one, at least for this term, I would request all of you to attend. If you have not registered, please register. And even if you're not a EC member, you can still go ahead and attend because they will be talking about a few things such as DCP goals and how to log in as a base camp and what are the basics of a base
Aditya,
camp.
please allow me to launch the poll meanwhile.
Yeah, okay, launch. So I'll continue. So members can, even if you're not in the EC role, you can also attend. You can just see what they have to
This is the
offer.
last poll, guys. Please vote.
Yeah, okay, all right. We'll just hurry up in that context. Let me know, Azad. All right. Are we done?
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ending the poll. You can go ahead.
Okay. So as I said, you can attend this training program, not just for the club officers, even for members who want to know more about how this thing functions and just networking and getting to know people all over the division, all over the district. So that's one thing. Another thing is that we will be having a joint meeting with Toastmasters Club of Delhi next week. Means Toastmaster Nupur, who was here as the grammarian, will be at the helm of the affairs with us. So let's hope that we have a very interesting meeting, and we'll tell you the details about what roles are taken and how that works. I'll work it out with Toastmaster Nupur. But still, if you want to take up a role, you can contact me and we'll see. So what we'll do is, won't go into too much of detail, but we'll try and have a balance of both the things. So if you're interested as a role player, as a speaker, let me know. I'll check the roster and let you know if you are there. So that's one thing. And Toastmaster Nupur has an interesting theme in mind So I would like to give Toastmaster Nupur a quick second to just take us through what does she have in mind for the next week.
Okay, we are ready with the certificates if you want to.
Okay, just let Toastmaster Nupur and then we'll show the certificates.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditya. It will not take much of time, but just to invite everyone for next week's meeting, where we would be celebrating 26th January, the Republic Day of India, all of us together to be as proud Indians. So we'll look forward to meet all of you once again.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nupur. And now, Toastmaster Azad, let's see the certificates.
Yes. You can make the announcement, Aditya.
I can't see the screen.
You can't see the screen.
No, maybe it's still showing screen sharing.
The screen is not visible.
It's not visible. Acha. No issues. You can just announce the names. We can share the certificates later. But if you can try one more time.
Yes, yes. Now?
No. It's taking time.
Can I announce that?
You can do one thing. You can, since certificates are saved, when you announce the names, you can publish them later.
Okay, thank you so much. The best anchor goes to TMOD Toastmaster AMIT KUMAR. Have a round of applause for him. Best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster Nupur Avasthi. Well deserved. Best speech evaluator goes to Toastmaster Arushi Kapoor. Best table topic speaker is our guest Ashish Kukreti. You spoke really well, sir. Congratulations. And the best speaker goes to Toastmaster Navjot Barat. These all are our
Toastmaster Azad. So just to end on next week's meeting, since it's a joint meeting and both the clubs have different timings. TMOD is 3:30 to 5:30 and our club is 6:30 to 8:30. So we have come upon a middle time. We'll be having a meeting at 5:30. Just to reiterate for all the members before this message is not sent, we'll send the message again in the poster. But as a reminder, me and Nupur have agreed, as well as Arushi, that we will be having our meeting at 5:30 p.m. IST, so 1 hour earlier than the normal meeting. So whatever plans you have, if you're still sleeping at 5:30 in the afternoon, I hope that you will wake up an hour earlier and get ready for your roles and get ready for the meeting. So thank you so much, and we'll be seeing you at the joint meeting next week, and we'll be having a lot of fun. So on behalf of EC and SDTM, I bid goodbye to all the guests. Before that, do we have the guests in the meeting? We have Zishan, guest Sanjay. If you can just quickly give your how did you like the meeting? What was your experience this evening? Guest Sanjay.
Sanjay, you are on mute.
Now?
Yeah.
Today's meeting was a great learning experience for me, and I hope this is going to be a very, very informative and a very exciting meeting next time. Thank you.
Guest Zishan.
Hi, so for me, this is very welcoming because of the fact that being very new on this forum, but I still see that people cheering up for each other and they are encouraging people to take part in this. So, I mean, again, this feels like, having another family. So obviously that's very welcoming to me personally. On top of that, for the skill building purpose also, I find this a great platform. I have heard a lot about people about the Toastmasters, as in when I continue see people presenting their topics or the presentations, I think that there are a lot of things that I can learn. I was a part of this guest meeting some time ago also, and I see a couple of people have improved a lot. So I think possibly it is going to add a lot of value in my life also if I continue be a part of the regular participant in these meetings.
you, guest Zishan and guest Sanjay. We'll hope to see you next week. It will be a very different experience, a joint meeting, how two clubs come together and they organize something which is anyways a lot of work for one club. So you will know how two clubs do it in perfect sync. You'll know that. So with this, next week, once again, a reminder, 5:30. So if you are still sleeping at 5:30 in the afternoon, please change your schedule for that one evening. All right. We'll have a fun meeting. So I'll see you with all the
Can I
members.
request one
Or
picture?
more members. Yes, Azad.
Picture.
Anything? Okay, let's have a. Yeah. Okay, let's have a quick photo because we have gone past time.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Goodbye. See you next week.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye bye. Enjoy.